How you guys doing? This is Needed Talks, and I'm Azel, and I'm here with.
Aaliyah Porter.
T.
And now we're going to be talking about growth in a relationship, how important it is, and just understanding when is the right time to go or when you should stick it out. Does anybody want to start it off, or should I?
You should.
Okay. Well, my thing about growth in a relationship is that it depends on what we're growing from. Now, we're talking about growth as in, finances, growth as in careers, growth as in figuring out what we're going to do in the future in terms of family, kids, marriage. That's how you're supposed to grow in a relationship. I don't want to grow with anybody if you're still healing from past shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about shit your old nigga did to you, and then you trying to come to me and put that shit on me. That shit is the most annoying shit in the world. He yes, I get it. When he woke up, he didn't have a job. He woke up at 9 a.m. He was cheating. That don't mean you gotta blow my phone up and annoy me while I'm at work. Now I'm blocking you because you're annoying. I don't want to grow with people that just don't know how to heal. You never even attempted to try to heal. You just sit there and expect to come to somebody and be like, well, love me as I am. I've been through so much. Why don't you understand? I do understand. So, but I want you to understand that for yourself and figure that out. I'm not your therapist. I'm not the person that's going to build you. I'm not here to build you up all the way in that kind of manner. I'm not. I'm not. I guess it comes from the fact that I'm a relatively independent individual. Like I don't. I go ghost a lot of times. I disappear from a lot of people, and that's a bad trait. But I'm so independent where I like to figure out things for myself. So I guess seeing that from somebody else not having that ability, and you're trying to make me, help you heal in all these different spots, and oh, I'm still scarred from this, or I'm still fucked up from this, and now you keep putting that shit on me. I'm not dealing with it. You feel me? I'm instantly cutting you, and I really don't care. I'm okay with being alone. So I feel like growing and pertaining to us as what we're doing and what we have going on, that's okay with me. But growing and trying to heal you from all these other things outside of like family shit, like I understand things that go on within your family. I can't be mad at you for that, but there's still certain things to a certain extent because some people just take things too far. When people are broken or when people are hurt, when people still have things they haven't healed from, they they fuck you up. You feel me? They put all that shit on you, and then especially as men, sometimes we feel like we got to be somebody's savior. We got to be the man that really makes it happen for this girl. Da da da. Da. And then you 2 years later, and you like, damn, what the fuck happened to me? Like I'm not the same person that I was no more because I'm trying to grow with you. So I'm not doing it. We can grow within ourselves, but all your other shit that you got going on, please be an adult and figure that shit out yourself before you start trying to do it with me.
All right, I think I'm gonna go. All right, so I feel like growing is important for a relationship. I feel like every relationship is gonna require you to grow with somebody. However, the moment that you start going for swag and feeling like you're too cool for school, I am leaving. Like don't get too prideful with me, cause then like no, that I feel like that's disrespectful when you get too prideful and you start feeling like you could talk to me any kind of way because we're growing together. All right, so it's like, and also you need to be able to listen. We have to listen to each other. Sometimes you don't realize that you're growing with somebody because sometimes growing can be painful. So like oftentimes you might run from growth, and that's something that people have to realize as well. Like sometimes pain is still growth. You just have to get through that pain with that person, but it's only a certain amount of things that you should tolerate. So like I'm not tolerating nobody cheating on me. I don't care how much growth that is. I'm leaving.
What about crack?
I'm leaving. Crack. I'm leaving.
Oh, okay.
Putting you,
No worries,
I'm
yeah.
gonna give you resources. Like I have I'll give you a resource, or I'll try to help you out of that situation. But it's like if you're defiant and you're not listening and you're literally just like, nah, I'm cool. Like
That's some teacher shit. You fine
I
ass
really am a
nigga.
teacher too. But like, yeah, if you're just literally not listening to like the constructive criticism, you feel like, okay, I don't have to listen to you. You're a woman or whatever case may be. Then that's on you. And yeah, I'm only growing until you decide to be too cool for school, and then I'm leaving. So
Clock it.
yeah.
Personally, I feel like every relationship, regardless of whether it's romantic, platonic, within your family, I don't care what it is, every relationship requires growth and every relationship requires you to work individually on yourself. So both of those individuals can come together and be their better selves together. I feel like when I don't want to grow with somebody is when they give me their ass to kiss. Kind of like what Aaliyah said, when you act a little too cool for school and you want to show your ass and you want to be too prideful and you want to basically act like you that bitch or that nigga. You could be that bitch or that nigga, but don't flex up on me when I'm the one in your, in your circle, in your corner, trying to make you be your better self. You know what I'm saying? So there's been plenty of people within my life, romantic and platonic, that I've helped them grow. Whether that be giving them the resources or giving them the support or just letting them know that I'm there. And obviously that same thing has been reciprocated towards me. But once I feel like I'm giving you the world basically and you're giving me a speck of dust, you can kiss my ass. So that's how I feel.
Dead ass. That's some real shit. I'm giving you everything, and you just it's fuck me. That would be kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
Like, so that's when I feel like I'm done trying to grow with somebody. Like, because my thing is, I'm very much a person that gives the benefit of the doubt. I never want to be that person to abandon somebody because if I'm gonna be very honest, I have abandonment issues myself. So I never want to put that on the next person. But with that being said, again, if you disrespect my boundaries or what the fuck I got going on, and I'll say it again, you can kiss my ass.
Yeah. You just gotta
I am the
know.
program.
Yeah, like you just gotta know limits. Like there's one thing to be hurt, but you just have to be aware of like what you're like. I guess like because some people just take things too far where it's like yeah I'm not gonna accept that. Like I understand you got shit going on, I understand you hurt, I understand this happened, I understand you lost your job, whatever, but some people take things so far when they're trying to grow or when they're going through things and then they look at you and be like oh well I ain't perfect, I still got all this da, 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 da. But bro you're an asshole, like you're like you really pissing me off every fucking day because you got some shit going on because you're not healed because you're upset over this. Like, I'm not doing that. You're not gonna disrespect me because some other shit. I ain't do nothing to you. You
And
feel
I
me?
was gonna say, like, growing with somebody is like high key scary at this point
Yeah.
in my life, just because there's been plenty of people that I've poured into that are no longer here.
Okay.
And I would hate to sit here and pour into you and make you the person that you are. And then you go to the next person as that person that I made you to be. So, with that being said, it's just scary because you never know what you're putting, you never know what basket you're putting your eggs in, basically. Like, these eggs could be nurtured, safe, cool, or motherfuckers could crap that bitch and scramble it. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do with the eggs I put in your damn basket.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, it's scary. But at the same time, it's like, if you feel like somebody's worth it, you should do that.
Oh,
Obviously, with precautions, of course.
I ain't gonna lie though. The only thing about y'all answers that be throwing me off is that I feel like this is why you should just never let a woman ever do shit for you sometimes, bro. And it sounds crazy, but god damn, like they oh you gonna go and be with better with somebody else and I built this. You didn't build shit.
And men do that too. That's vice versa.
Bro, you
It
didn't
goes
build
both
shit.
ways.
This is why people need to be independent. This may be why I'm so goddamn independent. Cause a motherfucker not finna tell me, I made you. You ain't make shit, bitch. I'm not doing no shit like that. I'm sorry.
If I met you and you was a dusty ass cornball with no job and no motivation in your life, and then hold on, I'm not saying I dealt with that. I'm giving a fucking scenario. Hear me out. Matter of fact, I'll give a more realistic one to myself. Say I deal with a man, right? Got his own car, got his own crib, got his own job, you know what I'm saying? But let's say he lacks emotional intelligence. I tend to deal with men who lack emotional intelligence, PSA. So with that being said, say he lacks that, right? And say I'm like, all right, I want to help you grow with that. Like, I'm gonna communicate my boundaries, communicate that. Let's try. You give me your ass to kiss. You can kiss my ass. As simple as that. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that you have to have X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying that you have to do all these things. But at the end of the day, I appreciate effort. And if you're not putting in that effort, I want nothing to do with you.
At the end of the day, I'm not letting. I don't know. I just don't let people put too much imprints on whatever got going on in my life. And I feel like as a man, you shouldn't. You shouldn't let her have too much control. You need to figure some shit out. I'm sorry. Like maybe, man, maybe it's a fucked up time to say it during men's mental health, but goddamn, get your own therapy, figure your own shit out, because you're not about to tell people that you built me. You're not finna tell people that you help me find emotional intelligence. I'm the only reason this nigga know how to dress. Cause then y'all become assholes too. Like
I'm part of the reason.
you met me at 14. I couldn't dress then. I'm a grown ass man. Social media really did it. You ain't put my fist together. I don't even know how you a man letting a woman put your fist together in the first place.
And y'all also
Like,
gotta choose better friends too.
a woman not putting my
So-
goddamn fist together. Don't do no
So,
shit like
Hold
that.
on 1 second. All right, so bad company corrupts good character. So if somebody builds you up to be this perfect person and like not even perfect, but just a good person overall, and then you start hanging with people that remind you of your old self, and then you go back, I'm leaving. Because why would you let them drag you back down to where you started? So choose better friends so that your character is not corrupted. So
Time.
yeah.
All right, and we're here talking about growing together. You feel me, Amaya?
Yes, growing together. And
How
when it's the
important?
time to leave.
How important is it to grow together, and when is the appropriate time to leave? Me personally, I'm gonna have a very unusual take on this because I think, and specifically as a man, I think it's not as important to think about how you feel about a situation in the grand scale of things when it comes to growing with someone, because when you're looking towards the future, when you're looking at like marriage and shit like that, and being with someone long term, there's so much you got to forfeit, and I think we forget the word sacrifice a lot of times. It's so much you got to sacrifice, and what do you have to sacrifice? That's a great question, y'all. I'm glad y'all asked. You have to sacrifice how you feel about a situation. You feel what I'm saying? Especially as a man, there's gonna be times you not happy with your shorty, gang. There's gonna be a lot of times where you like, yo, I wish things were different. And they very well may be. But there's gonna be a large chunk of time where you gotta go through some bullshit with Shorty. It's gonna be a large chunk of time. You not gonna be happy with Shorty. It's going to be a fuck ton of time where you don't want to be with this woman no more. But if you just keep deciding to say, yo, I don't want to be here no more because I'm not happy. I don't want to be here no more because Shorty ain't doing this, that, and the third. That's not growth. That is, you don't have any sense of growth. What you have is a fragile setup that only works as long as life goes your way. And that's not how you grow. You grow through pain. You grow through, for lack of a better word, suffering. You're going to have a lot of pain in that situation. And that's where growth starts. It starts when you're uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable and you leave, you're not growing. Like I said, you're just setting yourself up for failure because life has to go your way in order for you to function. That's not growth. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you're making sense because I agree with that. Like I've been in situations where I felt like we're growing together, we're growing at a point in time together. However, this goes back to what the fuck did you just say, bro?
You got what I said.
No, what was the last point you just said? Because I definitely have something in my head to say to that. You
That
just said
if you're
something.
not, if you dip every time you're uncomfortable, all you have is a setup that.
Right.
You know
There
what
we
I mean?
go. I've definitely been in relationships where most of the time I was put in uncomfortable situations. I've always been a person to I've always been the type of person to grow with someone, even if he could be down bad. I'm still growing with him. You feel me? That money, what a man got never really was, a thing for me. Like, I don't really care about what you got. I've always grown with anybody I've been with. But I've left because they weren't growing at the same pace as me. And I've also left because they weren't meeting me where I needed to be met.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I've definitely have been in uncomfortable situations. And I definitely stuck it out because what's the point of leaving when that's really what's going to build y'all? You're going to have to go through them uncomfortable situations to get comfortable in that relationship, period.
You're gonna have to go through the uncomfortable situation with somebody. It's either gonna be him or her or the next one or the
Right.
next one. At some point, you're gonna realize, like, yo, I'm going through tough times with everyone I deal with, and it's not the person, it's life. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna hit a brick road or a brick wall with everyone you deal with. And the important thing about growth is it it gives you the strength to break down those walls. It gives you the strength to break past those barriers that life is inevitably going to hit you with at some point. You know what I mean? But if every time you hit a brick wall, you're like, this ain't the path I'm supposed to go down. Then you go down another path and you realize there's a brick wall here too. You're like, must be the wrong path. I just keep taking wrong paths. I just keep choosing wrong. That may be true. That may be true. But have you ever considered you're not choosing wrong? You're just not strong enough to push forward? you're just not who you think you are.
Some people probably feel that way. So it probably is like
You
it
know what
probably
I mean?
is that way with some people, which that I can agree with because you just gotta be built different to like go through it. Because if every time you get uncomfortable in a relationship and you feel like you gotta leave, you're gonna just keep running into that, like he said, over and over and over again. Like at some point you're gonna hit an uncomfortable space with that person, and you're gonna have to be able to maneuver through that, like get through that.
Right. It's gonna be like Michelle Obama said, and y'all can look this up if you think I'm lying. Michelle Obama said she was uncomfortable, not uncomfortable. She said she hated that man verbatim. She said she hated Barack for 10 years in their marriage before she started to see who she married again. In their marriage. In their marriage.
Marriage.
In their marriage, but this is my thing. You don't just jump in a marriage and become a husband. You don't just jump in a marriage and become a wife. You train for that. You build the character to become a husband. You build the character to become. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm not going to treat you like this because you're not my husband." Well, what if he is your husband? You're just going to magically feel a different way about uncomfortable situations? No, that's not reality. That's not how reality works. You have to train yourself to be okay with comfortable situations. You have to train yourself to be able to deal with uncomfortable situations. You have to train yourself to be like, it's okay that I don't like you right now. It's okay we don't get along right now. That's fine. Because happiness is not paramount in a relationship. There are so many things more important in a relationship than y'all being happy with each other right now. Because if relationships end every time you're not happy, humanity will probably be over. Ain't nobody fucking no more.
Yeah, because sometimes people feel like they don't want to waste their time anymore. If you're not making me happy or you're not fulfilling what I need, then I'm gonna dip. What's the point of wasting more time?
What's the point of wasting more time? I feel that. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely a limit. I ain't gonna lie, there's definitely a limit. If like a couple people said, if you're not growing, and I'm going through this with you for, I ain't gonna lie, even though I quoted at Michelle Obama wildin', 10 years of not fucking with you, that's kind of crazy. 10 years of not liking you is kind of crazy. But at a certain point, you do have to realize, like, yo, I'm a grown man, I'm a grown woman. I can't keep searching for happiness. There's more, and that's the thing with mental health. Like the whole mental health world, it trains everybody to feel like happiness is paramount, and if you don't have that, you're not in the right place. And they don't teach you that there's things like integrity that you need to be focused on. There's things like perseverance you need to be focused on. Happiness is a fleeting thing. You're never going to obtain happiness. You're never going to obtain happiness. You're going to have moments of happiness, but you're never going to obtain it fully. It's never going to be yours to grasp. It's never going to be yours to grasp. So why are we chasing that? Why are we chasing a happy situation? You need to chase a situation where we're capable. You need to chase a capable situation, not a happy situation.
So since you're so for like, growing in relationships, what would make you leave though? Like what would be a point you leave with growing with someone? If you gotta experience the uncomfortableness and you gotta be mature enough to grow, what would be a point of leaving it?
And this is why I said I'm gonna have a very different perspective, because it takes a lot, especially if I'm in an invested relationship with you, it takes a lot for me to, like, cheating off rip, you're done. That's one, you're done. But it takes a lot for me to want.
But sometimes women be so forgiving, but go ahead.
That's y'all. Fuck what y'all do. You're not cheating on me.
Sometimes women be so forgiving, but y'all be quick. Yeah, I'm different.
Because y'all supposed to be forgiving.
But I want you to forgive me though, because I cheated. Yeah,
because I still.
If you cheat on me, I'm gonna dip.
Because I still love you. You don't love me if you cheated on me, shorty. That's
you don't love her if you cheat. Look, listen to what you just said. You just said
I can't love you and cheat on you.
But then you just say if she cheat on you, she don't love you.
Because
she can't love you.
Woman, that's different.
No, there's no comparison.
That's what I'm saying. There is no comparison.
No, you can't. But I'm saying you can't separate the two. Like it's the same thing. Like if she cheat on you, then you can say that she don't love you because she cheated on you.
Yeah, she don't love me, but I can still love you.
No, you can't.
Why?
Because you can't. No, it don't work like that. You can't say you can't. It can be the opposite way around.
I've cheated on a woman I would die for. I would take a bullet for.
That's not love, but say what you was about to say, because that is crazy. That's not love. That is definitely not love. You actually hate her. Yes, thank you. He hates her. He literally hates her. If you can cheat on a woman and say you still love her, that's manipulation.
Brody in the
you really.
Brody in the comments, tell me I'm not tripping. You can love a woman and cheat on them.
And a woman can cheat on you and still love you also.
No, because before she cheats on you, she already emotionally detached from you. That's not the case for men. I can be still deeply in love with you, and shorty was just bad, and she was throwing that ass, and I need that. I need to catch that. It's not the same for y'all. Y'all are just like, oh, he was throwing that dick. I need to catch it. That's not how y'all thinking. Y'all like, yo. Y'all like, yo, I actually love this man.
But I cheated on him. I actually
No, I'm talking about the man that you cheated with. Like, yo, this is my boyfriend, but I actually love this man. I think he deserves a puss. You don't need to deserve, and it sounds bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna sound bad. You don't need to deserve the dick. It's just like it was you right time, right place. My dick hard, and you here trying to suck some dick.
No. This nigga just went completely off.
No, look, we getting off topic, but we getting off topic. Yo,
Where's the growth?
All right, but
Where is the growth?
No, real talk. The growth is in. Oh no, you asked where would I leave it?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you saying, uncomfortable situations, you're supposed to be mature enough to get through them, uncomfortable situations to grow with someone. So when is your point of leaving if that's what's supposed to happen?
All right, this is my thing, right? And I don't want to call myself Jesus or nothing like that, but I really have a different view of like humanity in general. I look at people like, yo, you are flawed, and that's okay. And it's not gonna. It may take 6 months. It may take a year. You may be struggling with who God knows what you're struggling with that came before me. This could be like childhood shit. God knows what you're struggling with. And I always see that in people. I always see like, yo, I understand what you're doing is affecting me, but I'm a man and I can take that. I'm okay with not being happy right now because of what you're going through and what you're putting on me. I'm okay with dealing with that right now because you're a human and I'm human. I'm probably putting a lot on you. It may not be nowhere near in comparison. You know what I mean? You may be dumping shit on me, gang. But it's just like I'm a man.
Time.